Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel where I talk about my life as a beauty queen, as a wife, and as a mama. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my blog, y'all, where I'm putting most of my energy into these days, and I pop on here for like little chit chats and vlogging content. So today we're gonna have a little just check-in and a vulnerable moment. So y'all, today is June 8th, 2024, and today Jovani It Girl and Jovani Elite had a casting in Atlanta, and I went, and I'm so glad that I did. So let me tell y'all how that went. So if you're unfamiliar, if you're one of my social friends who's not really familiar with the pageant world, Jovani is one of the top designers in the pageant world. Back in my day, in like 2010 to 2018, all of the top state and national title holders, USA and America alike, honey, everyone was wearing either Jovani, Sherry Hill, Jonathan Kane, or McDougal. Those are like the top designers, and Jovani has always been my favorite because I think that their designs are so timeless and they remain in style no matter what the trends are. And that's been really important for me as someone who has competed as a Miss and now competes as a 30-year-old Mrs. And my favorite gown ever that I've ever worn on stage, that I've ever worn for pageants, was a white Jovani gown. I also wore it as my reception dress when I got married. And dress shopping is truly an experience, and when you find a gown that you really love, that really just makes you feel confident and beautiful, and it's also comfortable, it really is just a memories that you will have with you every time you wear it. And I remember exactly where I was when I bought that gown. I remember the details. I remember how much I paid for it. I just, that whole experience of the purchase and trying on the gown and being like, this is the gown that I'm going to win my state title in, that I'm going to go to nationals in. It's just a great experience and great memories, and I will forever remember that and remember that white Jovani gown. But anyway, so I feel like Jovani has just now started getting the recognition and the hype that they deserve, maybe like since the pandemic. And I feel like for the longest time, Sherry Hill has held like that top designer popularity spot, but I feel like now, just based off of what I see and how I feel, that it's Jovani. And I feel like Jovani is finally getting the recognition that they deserve. So anywho, Jovani has this modeling contest, this brand ambassador contest, and for the longest time it has been Jovani It Girl. And now I don't know if this decision was made to be on trend with like the whole relationship and age requirements being lifted in Universe in USA, but now Jovani has a sister contest called Jovani Elite for ladies that are 27 and up. Me being 30, that's the category that I would fall into. And I'm so excited that they did it because I've always felt that I was kind of a late bloomer in life. And I think it's so funny how things that I wanted really, really bad as like a 16, 18, 21-year-old are now like manifesting in my 30s. So yeah, just when I was competing as a Miss, I always wanted to model, always wanted to go to Mar, always wanted to go to New York Fashion Week, and just never had the opportunity, never had the connections, also never really had the time, because I was broke and I was working multiple jobs on top of competing to pay for being able to compete and finance my pageant habit. So yeah, so I'm glad that I have the opportunity now, and so I went today. So they've been having castings all week all across the nation, and there was one here in Atlanta, actually in Alpharetta, hosted by Sparkle and Sass by Stacy. That's the name of the owner and the dress boutique. And I actually have a good relationship with Stacy because she was a dress sponsor for me back when I had my USOA state title in 2020. So it was good to see her. And the casting was like from noon to 2, y'all. I got there right at noon. And I was in and out like within 45 minutes. And from what I could see from all the other girls that were there, I was the only person in the elite section, 27 and up. All the other girls were like 18, 19, 20. No one thought that I was 30 years old. And I wore makeup today. And it was fun and it was quick and efficient, which I really appreciated because I had to get back home to my family. But I started to second guess myself because I was the oldest person there. And I was like, dang, like, am I too old for this dream? Like, is this really going to work for me? But then I was like, no, like, let me just like do it. And I was confident. All the other girls were nice. I felt good about my interview casting with the questions that they ask and everything, because, you know, there's a spokesmodel aspect to it. And I got home and I was telling my husband about the reservations that I had, and he was like, babe, don't do yourself a disservice of like removing something from your life that makes you happy. Like, who cares if, you know, you're a 30-year-old woman who still wants to do pageants and model and things like that. Like, it makes you happy, you find purpose in it, it's impactful, like, continue to do it. And I am so grateful for my husband's support, because I think a lot of the times we realize the youthfulness in our dreams, and it makes us feel like we're in over our head, like we're too old for it. And on the way home, on my drive home, I was thinking about, okay, how am I really going to make this work? Because if I get picked from this casting, then I model at Atlanta Mart for about a week. And then if I get picked from that, then I'll model at New York Fashion Week in September, which would be so, so fun. So as a wife and as a mom, as a wife and a stay-at-home mom, I'm thinking about, okay, let me go ahead and put in this time off from work just in case I get it, because they don't announce the winners until the week before Mart, or the semifinalists the week before Mart. Thinking about childcare for Blair because I'm a stay-at-home mom. She's not in summer camp, and it's a summer school. Preschool is not in, and then her preschool is only part-time. And thinking about if I need to ask my mom and my mother-in-law to help, and just like throwing all these ideas around with Corey. And he's like, don't worry about it. I have vacation time saved up. Like, I'll just take off for the week or whatever. So yeah, and it furthers my reservations of making sure that I'm doing my due diligence to live out my dreams and accomplish these goals and kind of remake a name for myself in the pageant world in this season of wifehood and motherhood, because the trend now is to welcome family women into pageantry on a more like grander scale, but the support and the accommodations that are needed for that have not been openly expressed by the systems, by the directors, by the people in charge, XYZ. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. This may turn into a multiple part series. I'll probably just name this Jovani Casting Episode 1. I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited for the opportunity to just have gone for it. I started working with a coach back in December, and one of my goals, I remember telling her that one of my goals was to do more modeling and brand ambassador things within the pageant world and to model at New York Fashion Week, because I feel like, I didn't have those opportunities when I was a Miss, and I would really like them now. And we're almost 6 months later from me like speaking that, and the opportunity arises for me to do it. So yeah, I think there were just so many things back in my Miss days where I felt like I didn't have the connections or the height or the money to do them. And now that I've experienced a little more life and I have a little more wisdom and a little more confidence, I can go after those things with the resources that I have, and trusting in God's provision and the support of my family and my village to make those things happen. So yeah, y'all, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it was fun today. It was a good experience. Like, probably the last time I was at anyone's casting was like undergrad. But yeah, it was fun, and hopefully it turns out good. And I just pray that it goes however God wants it to go. And I think now I know that no matter what pageant opportunities I do or do not get, that I will still have a good life, that I will still have a blessed life. And I think that's the biggest difference between life as a Miss and life as a Mrs. When you're competing as a Miss and you're so invested in your pageant journey, it's hard to see what your life is going to look like without it, and the things that you'll accomplish without pageantry and beyond pageantry. But once you live a little more life and you have that work experience, that career experience, that family experience, you see firsthand that you are still blessed with or without it. And I think that's the biggest difference. And I think that's where I'm at now. I still love pageantry. I still love the opportunities and seeing the girls slay and slaying myself. But now I believe that I will still have a good and blessed life with or without it. So for me, it's not even about getting the opportunity. It's about God's will being on the opportunity. And I did my best, and I did everything that I could do today. And I wish I could go back and tell like 17-year-old Taylor, like, you'll get to go to a Jovani casting one day. And I think if 17-year-old me could see 30-year-old me, that she would be happy and that she would have some peace about her life, because I would just, back then this was like a dream for me. Just not even getting picked, but just having the opportunity to go to a Jovani casting was a dream for me back in the day. And now, years later, I've gotten the opportunity to fulfill it. So it's not even about me getting picked at this point. I'm just glad that I had the courage to do it. That I thought of 17-year-old me and just went and did it. So yeah, y'all, I'll keep y'all updated on how it goes. But I'm just still over the moon that I went to a Jovani casting. And hopefully, they like me and I go to Mart and everything works out with the scheduling, with my husband's work schedule, and making sure that Blair has the care that she needs. And then who knows, maybe all three of us will be going to New York Fashion Week in September. And that would just be so cool for me to be doing that, and for my daughter to see me like living dreams while still being her mom and making sure that she has everything that she needs. So that's it. I just wanted to give y'all that update, and I'll see y'all in the next one.